The puzzle is starting to come into place. Piece number 1 complete. Now piece number 2 set to be completed. And by the time this game's done, with half the Final Four complete, there will still be half the Final Four to be settled. And what a blockbuster matchup tonight in the West Regional in San Jose. Big 10 versus Big 12. The number 2 seed, Purdue Boilermakers, and the number 1 seed, Arizona Wildcats. Good evening, everybody, along with our entire crew, our Hall of Fame producer, JT. I'm Seth Eaves. Thank you so much for being with us. We even saved you the best seat in the house. What a matchup in prospect here tonight. Purdue, who's shooting lights out of the tournament. Arizona, who's been great all year. Two teams who have been in the forefront of the college basketball conversation. The season's so long and a lot happens, it's easy to forget things like Purdue being the preseason number 1. They won their 30th game the other night, beating Texas, while Arizona blitzed a red-hot Arkansas team. And this is a team in Arizona, really Purdue too. You know, they did go to the national championship game 2 years ago. Two teams whose legacies, fairly or unfairly, have been defined in the last 20 to 30 years as teams that have been talented, but always seem to come up short and lose against lesser opposition. Well, they won't be able to say that if they lose tonight necessarily, but it will still feel rather empty for either one of these teams. Purdue, of course, trying to get to its second Final Four in 3 years. And Arizona, as you might have heard Matthew Owens say during our earlier stream, and as I mentioned the other night in the Arizona-Arkansas game, the first time since 2001 when Gilbert Arenas and Richard Jefferson were running the show for U of A. Matt Painter, 21st season at Purdue, a Purdue grad in the Elite Eight for the third time. He's won 69% of his games. Tommy Lloyd, his 5th year, 147-35. You can't speak highly enough of the job that he's done. He's in the Elite Eight for the first time and now trying to get to the Final Four for the first time as a head coach. Well, as I said earlier, Duke and UConn's getting all the publicity, and rightfully so, but I'll tell you, I think this one should be pretty darn good too. Purdue in black, Arizona in white. A scramble for the loose ball. It's eventually picked up by the Wildcats, and off we go from San Jose. Left to right, Arizona goes with Jaden Bradley running the show. He'll give it to Koa Pete. Pete now gives it to Braden Burris, the outstanding freshman. Here is Karchenkov. He'll give it to Krivas on the right block. 14th all-time meeting between these two. Krivas, little hook shot from 2, rimmed out no good. Trey Kaufman went for the save, and Purdue has it. Boilermakers now with their first position. Braden Smith, the all-time assist leader in college basketball history. Shot left a little bit short, and now Arizona on the run. So a couple of chances that have gone missing so far. And then deflected, and then C.J. Cox deflected it off of Braden Burris, so it will be Purdue ball. These teams have met just one other time in the NCAA tournament. It was in 2007 in the first round in New Orleans. Purdue won that game. That was Matt Painter's first NCAA tournament win, which included a wild shot from a Purdue guard off his knees in that game. Here's Kaufman back out to Braden Smith. 17-footer, left it short. Rebound, Arizona, Karchenkov. Wildcats now run the floor with Pete, lobbing it inside it was Bradley lobbing it for Pete. It's deflected out of bounds. And Arizona, we mentioned this at the end of the game, that Arizona, not your typical modern-day team in the sense they don't like to jack up a bunch of threes. They like to go inside, and they like to shoot two-pointers, but that's going to be a difficult task with the size of Purdue. Here's a left corner 3, catch it, shoot, and it's down the hatch for Braden Burris, the outstanding freshman from San Bernardino, California. A minute 20 in, he gives Arizona a 3-0 lead. Smith now gives it to Kaufman. Purdue with the basketball. Kaufman now on the right wing. The hero from the win against Texas on Thursday. Smith, top of the key. Smith, left wing 3. He'll fire and hit it. The senior from Westfield, Indiana, Braden Smith, ties the game at 3 apiece. Here's Pete. Giving it up inside, no. Krivas went for a tip. Couldn't get the tip, but somehow got the rebound back himself. On the left block, Krivas now gives it up to Burris. Burris with 11 to shoot off of a Krivas screen. Burris looks now to Karchenkov. 6 to shoot. Karchenkov on the drive. Layup good. Good job by Ivan Karchenkov. And Arizona now takes a 5-3 lead. Good move by Karchenkov. Here comes Smith. Smith now working with it. Top of the key now drives into the lane. Thought about the jump shot, gave it back to Kaufman-Renn. 11 to shoot. Kaufman-Renn working with it with 8. Kaufman-Renn, a little teardrop. Rimmed out, no good. Long rebound came back out to Cox. Fresh 20 for Purdue. Boilermakers working with 12 on the timer. Smith in a little trouble, stumbled, nearly lost the ball. High up, I believe, and if it is, and indeed it is the call, the arrow points towards Purdue. Only thing you will ever hear me say on record the NBA has over college basketball is that when they have a jump ball situation, they actually do a jump ball. What a concept. 5-3 Arizona. 17-17 to play in the first half. West Regional Final. Second Final Four East to be decided tonight. Winner to Indianapolis next week. Kaufman-Renn in trouble. 5 to shoot. Through a lot of contact. Gets the friendly roll. And the senior from Sellersburg, Indiana, Trey Kaufman-Renn, ties the game at 5. Burris for Arizona. Lob now over to Krivas. Krivas, little hook shot, good from the painted area. And the big man from Lithuania, Motiejus Krivas. 7-5, Arizona on top. Here's Clough, top of the key, handoff Fletcher Lawyer. Lawyer now over to Kaufman-Renn. Kaufman-Renn back to Smith, left wing, 10 to shoot. Smith, follow-away jumper from the left block, it's pure. Braden Smith with 5 of Purdue's first 7 points, and we're knotted up at 7 with 16:23 to play in the first half. Here's Karchenkov for Arizona. Moves over to the left side. Karchenkov on a drive. Karchenkov looks for some help. Not the best pass in the world. Bradley has it, though. The Big 12 Player of the Year. Jaden Bradley, who's stepped up every time Arizona's needed a basket this year. He's been there. Gives it to Pete. Pete in the paint. He scores. 2 for Koa Pete. And the freshman from Chandler, Arizona, puts the Cats back on top, 9-7. Smith now on the right wing. Smith now trying to move. Gives it up to Kaufman-Renn. Smith on the left wing. His 3, good. Braden Smith feeling it to start for Purdue. And it's 10-9. And for the first time since the first half of the Big 12 Tournament Championship a fortnight ago, Arizona trails in a basketball game. Burris inside, no. Krivas had it knocked away and out of bounds. It's going to stay with Arizona. And that'll take us to the first media timeout with 15:25 to go. It's Purdue 10 and Arizona 9 here on the channel. And I mentioned him earlier as our Hall of Fame first ballot goated producer. And now we bring him in to the chat for the first time. The one and only JT. JT, how are you tonight, my friend?
Busy, but good. How are you?
I am delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be here. Obviously, you've got. I saw there on the left corner screen. You've got a lot going on there. You got quad. You've got a modified racing, banana ball, and they got sports car racing. I mean, you are, and you're scoreboarding this game, of course. So, I mean, you are a jack of all trades and master of many.
Absolutely. But then again, I'm not JT if I'm not busy.
That's well, indeed. Now, as a reminder, college basketball, a lot of great action. Of course, Final Four continues tomorrow. We're going to have, the plan is at least to have both games on the channel tomorrow. Tennessee, the number 6 seed, now the lowest seed left in the tournament, out of the SEC, looking for their breakthrough Final Four, but a tall task awaits as they'll meet with Michigan. In the Midwest Regional Final from Chicago, that's at about 2 o'clock, 2:10, 2:20, and then shortly after 5 o'clock, the East Final. What a scene it's going to be from D.C. Two of the great programs, Connecticut and Duke, and it should be an absolutely magnificent game in D.C. It should be cinema. And when those two games are done, we'll have a Final Four set. And of course, that comes your way next Saturday from Indianapolis. And then a week from Monday, we'll have the national championship game between the two winners from the Saturday semifinals. So Arizona, as mentioned, trailing for the first time in this tournament. How will they respond from that? 10-9 Purdue, with 15-22 to go in the first half. The Big Ten, of course, trying to break that 26-year drought. 4 advanced to the Elite Eight, and 1's in the Final Four already. You heard it earlier, Illinois winning that All-Big Ten regional final, beating Iowa 71-59. They're in the Final Four for the first time since D, Darren, and Luther 21 years ago. Will another Big Ten team join them? 2 more can. We could have 3 from that league. A 3-4 chance to win the title if Purdue wins tonight and Michigan wins tomorrow. They actually called a foul on Purdue, which is interesting because that's one of the keys we taught. Purdue does not foul very often or much at all. But they did there, and it's Krivas who's at the free throw line, and he knocks down the first free throw. So 1 down for Krivas, and now the second one will be coming up here. Free throw is up, and it rattles in. So Krivas knocks them both down, and Arizona leads 11-10 early on in the first half in San Jose. Purdue up the floor, left wing Braden Smith. He'll accelerate. Smith now goes back to the right. Smith's had the hot hand early. He'll take another shot. Not this time. Rebound by Krivas. Now Arizona goes to Bradley. Kick out. Pete for 3. That one left short. Not Pete for 3. Burrs for 3. No. Pete, though, got the rebound. Bradley, the midi, good. Shaden Bradley knocks down the shot from about 13. And Arizona has 13 points. It's 13-10 with 14:50 to play in the first half. Smith now across the timeline. Over to the right wing. Smith looking for the basketball. Gives it to Lawyer. Lawyer now over to Cox. Cox gives it to Clough. Clough now to Smith. Smith nearly lost it. Ball still loose. Saved. Nearly backcourt. Purdue barely hangs on, but they got to go. 4 on the shot clock for Smith. 2 to shoot. Smith, extra pass to beat the shot clock buzzer. It rims in and out. Rebound tapped around into the hands of Arizona's Burris. Burry's now with it on the right wing. Gives it to Krivas. Krivas inside Pete. Pete inside. Score it for Koa Pete. And Arizona in a flash now up a nickel. 15-10 on the finish from Koa Pete. 14:04 to play in the first half. Arizona with 8 of their 15 points coming in the painted area. Here's Clough. Now it's Lawyer. Lawyer driving in. Lawyer looking for the pass. Here's Clough inside. Nice finish in. And the senior from Australia, Oscar Clough, the former South Dakota State Jackrabbit, makes it 15-12 Arizona. 13:39 to play in the first half. Karchenkov on the right wing. He'll give it to Krivas. His floater, too long. Rimmed out right into the hands of Lawyer. But Arizona gets it right back on a steal. It's Karchenkov all the way and lays it in. Good work by Karchenkov. All his own work. Lead back at 5. 17-12 Arizona. 13-18 to play in the first half. Braden Smith. C.J. Cox now with it for Purdue. Now here is Braden Smith. Cox, left corner 3 is off the mark. Clough, though, got the rebound. Smith, now Lawyer. He'll take a 3. That one is no good. Clough had the rebound briefly. The ball bouncing around. Still bouncing around. Bodies flying all over the place. And finally, a foul called on Arizona. tell you what a steal there. They're showing. I mean, Karchenkov. It. There's no use if you followed Arizona. There's no use in me saying insert Arizona player name here is a heck of a player. They're all heck of a players. That's why they've had the year they've had. That's why many people think they can win the whole shooting match. Halfway to that goal. And either a 5-second, no, not a 5-second goal, a push on Purdue. I said either 5 seconds or a push. Kaufman ran pushed away for the ball on the inbound. And so the ball goes back to Arizona. (17-12), and both these fouls are on Trey Kaufman-Renn. So he goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Burry's top of the key. Lob down the left block. Arizona has it. Here's Tobe Awaka. Awaka, hook shot, good. Great finish by Awaka. And Arizona now up 19-12 with 12.5 to play in the first half. And 12 points in the paint. And if Arizona has this big of an advantage in the paint early, not to give games away, but that's not the best sign in the world for Purdue. Smith inside to Clough. Clough had it stripped. No, foul. Bradley, I believe, will be called for that foul. It was a nice behind the legs pass by Braden Smith. Such a great ambassador. And, in this era of modern college basketball, it's really refreshing to see guys like Smith and Lawyer and Kaufman-Renn stick around at Purdue for as long as they have it. It's going to be emotional when this run ends, when this tournament run ends, one way or the other for Purdue. Here's Oscar Clough, another senior, averaging 10 points in this tournament, and the Aussie makes the first free throw. So that makes it 19-13. And as the rules dictate, Oscar Clough will get another free throw. Second free throw is no good. Long rebound came back out to Purdue, though. Here is Braden Smith. Smith, top of the key. Smith's going to pull straight away and miss. And then another foul on Arizona. And that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. 11:56 to play first half. With the score, Arizona 19 and Purdue 13. See what JT has got cranked up. For God's sake, he has Monster Jam on now. Good Lord. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, JT is going to be locked in. I can tell you that right now. Is that an accurate description?
You could say that. I did put on the Ferrari Challenge Japan, but no surprise, they broke the circuit again. So that was
that was that sport. That was the sports car race you had on earlier. I got
it. Was Phillip Island GT4.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to Ferrari Challenge, but that was under red, so now I've gone to Monster Jam.
So, echo. So, got to keep up with our watch along, make sure everybody's watching here. Again, the top 2 seeds in the West advancing into the Elite 8, as it is known, and it is Arizona with a 19-13 lead over the Purdue Boilermakers. The NCAA women's basketball tournament continues Monday night. We'll have the the Sacramento 4 regional final, South Carolina against the winner of Virginia and Texas Christian. So, and then next weekend, the women's Final Four from Phoenix, Arizona. First 2 tickets will be booked tomorrow. UConn plays Notre Dame. UCLA plays Duke. What a finish last night as Duke eliminated Louisiana State in that one. So that's what's happening there, and can't wait. That'll be next Friday and Sunday, the women's Final Four on the channel next week. We cannot wait for that. Will chalk hold? Looking like it. All 4 1 seeds are into the Elite Eight. Not to spoil too much for halftime, but a good game early on here on the men's side with Arizona and Purdue. So, still waiting to come out of the break in San Jose. Purdue Pete hamming it up for the crowd inside the SAP Center. You heard Matthew reference the Shark Tank earlier. That's what the arena is known as, because it is the home of the National Hockey League San Jose Sharks. And who knows, there could be some more action on the network originating from the Shark Tank. Just saying, the Sharks trying to make a push for the NHL postseason. Well, they have faded just a little bit. Anyway, back to the basketball side of things. Braden Smith with it for Purdue. Smith double clutching, now giving it up to Daniel Jacobson with it. Now it's Smith. Now Clough. Clough had it stripped. Great hands by Burris. Burris now trying to run the show. He had it poked from behind, though, by Jakari Harris. Purdue in transition. Harris moves. Thought about the three. Now gives it up. Three straight away is no good. Rebound fought for and corralled out of thin air by Awaka. Burris with it. Burris now over to Awaka. Now it's Del Orso. Awaka off the heel. No. And the rebound by Clough for Purdue. Remains a 6-point Arizona lead. Braden Smith with the basketball. Smith now dribbling it, 20 on the timer. Smith now trying to go. Good bounce pass again. Clough, a little teardrop. Too strong. Long rebound comes back out to Smith, though. Smith, though, tried to find a trailer. The problem was the trailer was invisible. It went out of bounds. Arizona ball. Fourth Purdue turnover in the first half. .49 to play first half. Arizona up by 6. Give it to Bradley. Bradley now with it. Gives it to Karchenkov. Now Awaka. Now it's Del Orso. Back to Bradley. Krivas, kick out. Del Orso. He can shoot that. In and out of the three. Loose ball out of bounds. Who touched it last? Arizona did. Well, Del Orso is a really good shooter, but the iron a little bit rude to him there. Senior from Melbourne, Australia. Got a lot of different nationalities on these rosters. Purdue has players from Israel and Australia. Arizona has players from the Netherlands, Australia, Russia, England. That's for you, JT. Jackson Cook. Lithuania, Senegal, South Sudan, and France. Some of the countries represented in tonight's game. Kaufman Wren gives it up to Lawyer from the good old US of A. of America. Here's Harris. Straightaway three. Good. The sophomore from Atlanta, Jakari Harris, pulls Purdue to within 3 as we near the halfway point of the first half. 19-16 Wildcats. Karchenkov. Awaka now gives it to Bradley. Bradley onto the left wing. Bradley on the move. Bradley, 13-footer, rims out. Rebound fought for and grabbed by Harris. Purdue could tie with a 3 this trip down. They've made just 1 of their last 6. Omer Meyer with it now. To Kaufman Wren, left block. Back of the game despite 2 fouls. Kaufman Wren. Little hook shot, turnaround, left well short. Into the hands of Karchenkov, who dribbles it up the floor. Here's Karchenkov, breakneck speed. No good. Arizona wanted a foul. Tommy Lloyd is beside himself. Well, this is the part of the game where the Purdue people, the anti-Purdue crowd, will tell you about. There's no way they can't not foul. Friendly roll for Meyer, and the freshman from Tel Aviv pulls Purdue to within one. Boilermakers have found themselves on a 6-0 run. Lob inside, Awaka blocked. No, foul called. So third team foul on Purdue. Tobe Awaka, who averages 10 points and 6 rebounds a game, played in this tournament, played previously at the University of Tennessee from Hyde Park, New York. Nothing but net on the free throw. And so another one coming as the rules dictate. Awaka waiting for that second free throw. It's a 64% free throw shooter, and he drills both of them. Arizona fans now rising as one. Arizona does have the crowd advantage, obviously, but Purdue is a loyal bunch that loves to travel as well. No doubt there's plenty of black and gold. Meyer now to Clough. 3-point Arizona lead. Clough turnaround hook shot, no good. He got his own miss. Puts it in off glass. Oscar Clough doing the business. And Purdue is to within one. 8.5 to play first half. 21-20 the lead for Arizona. Bradley now directing traffic. Bradley with it now. Tries to move to the left side. Gives it to Krivas. Steal by Clough. Great hands by the big man. Clough nearly walked with it. Arizona was begging for a walk. Tommy Lloyd begging for a walk. Corner three canned by Harris. Purdue leads. Arizona incensed. They thought it was a walk. None was called. And Purdue goes up by a deuce. Arizona with it once again. Karchenkov lobbing it. Deflected. Loose, and then a foul on Purdue with 7:48 to go in the first half. Fletcher Lawyer is incensed, and both teams having gripes with the officiating in this game. And it's Purdue up by 2 at the under 8 timeout. College basketball here on the channel will continue Thursday night on Thursday, and then a week from tomorrow with the semifinals and final of the National Invitation Tournament for the men. The semifinals start at the semifinal fund for the NIT, as it's known. Hold up, I gotta make sure I have the right games in the right time. These games properly timed. The fun starts Thursday at 7 when New Mexico takes on Tulsa, and then about 30 minutes after that, Illinois State and Auburn. The winners of those two games will play a week from tomorrow at 8 Eastern in Indianapolis for the NIT Championship. 3 of the 4 teams from non-power conference. We had NIT action for you the other night. What a game between Illinois State and Dayton. The NIT, obviously no one wants to be in it, but if you're in it, you might as well go for it, try to win it, and get some semblance of confidence and positivity to take with you into the off season. So action rolling along here, and JT, how you holding up?
Good.
So again, we're waiting here for the waiting to come out of this under 8 timeout. I'll tell you, TCU Purdue, you get a lot from their bench. So, a lot going on. Of course, what a great run. It started with Illinois winning now this game. Purdue and Arizona. Purdue 9 of 21 from the floor. Arizona at 8 of 16. Points in the paint 12-8 in favor of the Cats. And Purdue with a 6-3 edge on the offensive glass. No real surprise there. And just like all the offensive rebounds Illinois got, and you saw Tennessee get a lot of those last night in that Sweet 16 game. Purdue keeps that up, they're going to be in good shape. Arizona has not had a field goal since the 12:37 mark. Arizona to inbound. They better hurry up, and they just get it into Krivas. Krivas now over to Burris. Burris gives it to Karchenkov. 11 on the shot clock. Karchenkov on the left wing. Karchenkov now over to Bradley. Bradley drives. Blocked by Clough into the hands of Harris. Here is Harris. Driving, lobbing inside, and well short was Jacobson. From about 2 feet, he hit it about a half a foot. Here's Pete. Karchenkov for 3 in the lead. No good. Arizona struggling from 3 as that one missed off the right side. Purdue and Kaufman Ren's on the floor. They're +9. They're -7 without him. He's not on the floor right now at the 7-minute mark of the first half. And again, he picked up 2 early fouls. Meyer takes the 16-footer, gets the bounce. Friendly bounce for Meyer, and Purdue takes a 4-point lead. Pete on the accelerator, and Pete high off the glass and in. Good job by Koa Pete. And Arizona now within a deuce. 6:32 to play in the first half. Meyer now dribbling it around. Meyer into the paint. Meyer, 8-footer, no good. Rebound Arizona. Bradley up the floor. Wildcats have scored just 2 points in the last 2:38. They get 2 points on this trip, they can tie the game. Here's Pete in trouble. Good cutting pass. Bradley for 3 in the lead. That won't fall. Shots not falling for Arizona on the perimeter. Just 1 of 5 from 3. Two-point Purdue lead. 5:52 to play in the first half. Here's Lawyer. Lawyer down the right wing. He'll give it up to Meyer. Now Harris, left wing. Lob inside, deflected. It went back to Harris. Harris with 4. Harris trying to draw contact. Leans in. It's no good. Ball still bouncing around, and they're going to go ahead and call the shot clock violation, and it will be Arizona ball. 5:35 to play in the first half. Well, you look at the comparison. Arizona, most of their points, over 1,600 of their points this year have come from freshmen. And then compare that with Purdue, who has had more than 2,000 of their points come from their seniors. Amazing. It is truly the old battle of youth versus experience. Watt wins out. Pete drives, block, no foul. Daniel Jacobson, the latest in the line of really tall players that Purdue has. Of course, they had Zach Edey, who was 7'4". Now Jacobson from Chicago, he's 7'4" himself, but a foul coming in in the act of shooting, and Kaufman Ren with those 2 fouls set to check back in at the 5:20 mark of the first half. First free throw up and good for Koa Pete, the freshman from Chandler, Arizona, who stayed in Arizona to play with the Wildcats and trying to send this team to a Final four for the first time in ages. Second free throw here for Pete. It is up, and it is good, and it is tied at 25 with 5:20 to play in the first half. Braden Smith now to C.J. Cox. 5 ties, 3 lead changes. Purdue's led by as many as 4. Arizona's led by as many as 7. A tight, highly contested game as we expected it to be. Smith in the trees, gets it to Clough. Little teardrop doesn't go, out of bounds. And last off of Arizona, so it stays with Purdue. So here's Braden Smith with it for Purdue on the left wing. Smith in some trouble. He has it, though. 8 to shoot. Purdue better do something with it. Down to 5. Now Smith off a curl. Smith driving. Smith thwarted from affected from behind by Burry, so then Arizona got the rebound. Cats run. Krivas thought about the 3, thought better of it. Burry, he'll take it at the top of the key for 3. That's no good. Rebound, Karchenkov inside, and Arizona's on top again. Karchenkov with the deuce. It's 27-25 Cats as we're near the 4-minute mark of the opening half. So here is Purdue now with Braden Smith. Right side. Smith bounce pass. Kaufman-Wren, 15-footer, good. A little floater from Kaufman-Wren ties the game at 27. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Here is Pete. Bradley. Off the Krivas screen. Karchenkov. Steal Cox. Purdue on the run, and then Karchenkov almost touched it but didn't, and it's going to be Purdue basketballs that rolled out of bounds, or Arizona basketballs that rolled out of bounds when they come back from the under 4 media timeout. Yeah, JT, would you hear JT, if you've been able to catch any of the games so far, what are your thoughts of it?
It's been close. It's been very close. It's been back and forth, which is not surprising at all between the top seed and the second seed. One that I, believe it or not, a British outsider actually successfully predicted this final
About that.
in the region. Don't ask me how, pure luck in the sense that I just picked the highest seeds.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, a reminder. Okay, here we go. Coming up at halftime, we'll get you caught up on what's happening around the country. We'll tell you about what happened in the earlier game tonight, as well as updating you on what happened on the second day of Sweet 16 action on the women's side. And we crowned a women's D2 national champion today. So we'll tell you all about that coming in at time. And maybe we can get a preview, depending on if we get some help. If we get a help, we can pay attention. If that's the case, we'll join. We'll talk about tomorrow's games, but again, only if we have certain help at halftime. As we continue to this game again, we thought that this would be a most interesting game. And it has lived up to the billing so far between the tournament champions from the Big Ten and the Big 12. This was an interesting regional that it got 3 of the 4 power conference champions, tournament champions. Arizona in the Big 12, Purdue won the Big 10, and Arkansas, who lost to Arizona Thursday out of the SEC. The other 2 power conference tournament champions, by the way, were in the East. Duke in the ACC and St. John's, who won the Big East. 27-27. Oh, and nearly a steal off the inbounds pass. So let's go out of bounds, though, and it's going to stay with Arizona again. Tie game. 3:44 to play, first half. Here's Arizona with Pete. Pete drives, spins, blocked from behind Jacobson. Smith saved it. Good work by Smith. And this is what we talked about a little bit on Thursday. Arizona's going to have to make shots because Purdue is not going to let them have the paint and the mid-range game like most teams will because of their size. Smith, a left wing 3. Nothing but net. Braden Smith knocks it down, and Purdue now goes up by 3 with 3:04 to play in the first half. Karchenkov. Floater. No. Last touched. Out of bounds. Out of last touch. Krivas. Due up by 3. Boilermakers with the basketball. Smith on the left wing. Smith lost it. Hit Bradley last, so it stays with the Boilermakers. 2:43 to play in the opening half. Here is Lawyer now. He gives it to Cox. Smith dribbling through traffic. Good pass. Cox for 3. That one's good. C.J. Cox connects, and Purdue now leads by a half dozen. Awaka now gives it up to Burris. Burris, offensive foul. Awaka on an illegal screen. And Purdue really starting to find something at the end of the first half. And these loud and proud Boilermaker fans are feeling it. Inside the Shark Tank at San Jose. 33-27, they lead it with 2:21 to play in the first half. So, the Arizona Wildcats going to get to that first Final Four since all the way back in 2001. Arizona, the number 1 seed, defeated Long Island, Utah State, and Arkansas to get here. Purdue with wins over Queens, Miami, and Texas. as we look at this Caleb Ekuban goal from Genoa against Bologna. Oh, yes. All the Serie A goals that we've seen. So, as I get ready to come out of this longer than I thought break, these senior leaders for Purdue, Braden Smith, one of them, as mentioned earlier in this tournament in that Queens win, he set the record for tournament assists. At Purdue, they've been money from three. They shot 58% from three against Queens, 57 against Miami, then just 20 against Texas. But they're shooting 55% from three tonight in this game, and they lead it by 6 with 2:14 to go. Smith on a drive gives it over to Clough. 8-0 Purdue run. Clough on the right block. Clough spins and stripped by Awaka. It goes out of bounds. Purdue keeps possession with 10 on the shot clock. Smith with the inbounds pass to Clough. That wasn't Smith. Clough now Smith. Oh boy, that was nearly a backcourt violation. 4 to shoot. Smith better do something. He'll put up a three. In and out. Awaka with a rebound. Bradley with it now. Arizona's got to find something. They've gone nearly 3 minutes without scoring. Bradley draws contact. And a foul called. His shot missed, but he'll go to the line for 2. The senior from Rochester, New York, who previously played at the University of Alabama. Bradley, an 80% free throw shooter on the year, averaging 13 points a game on the season. Two shots for Bradley. First one up, good. Second free throw for Bradley. Made it. 4-point game, 1:45 to play in the first half. Braden Smith up the floor for Purdue. Over to the left wing now. Bradley with the basketball. Bradley now gives it to Lawyer. Lawyer off a curl. His three. It's good. They've got another. Fletcher Lawyer. And Purdue up 7. Bradley, lob, Pete, good finish. Koa Pete with the lob, with the finish on the other end from the lob. 36-31 Purdue as we near the final minute of the first half. Smith with the basketball. Smith around the left wing. Smith puts up a three. That one's short. The rebound, okay, to Purdue. Jump shot, good. C.J. Cox makes the mid-range shot, and the Purdue lead is at 7. Burris, 15-footer, not even close, airballed it. Lawyer with the basketball. Or Smith, I beg your pardon. 12-second difference between game and shot clock. Bounce pass Clough. Clough passes out of a double team. Smith straightaway three. Left it short. Rebound. Grabbed by Arizona and Karchenkov. Refs have let him play a lot in this game. That is for sure. Shot clock turned off. Arizona will hold for the last shot of the half. Braden Burris looked over to Tommy Lloyd to see if he was going to take that use or lose it timeout. He didn't take it. Burris with 8 seconds. Now gives it to Pete with 5. Pete on a drive. Pete in between the trees now. 1 second left. Smith steals. Smith flings up the other end of the court. No. And that gets us to halftime. And the Purdue Boilermakers with a very impressive first half. Knocking down shots. And Tommy Lloyd and his bunch have a little work to do. Entering the locker room. They've played 20 minutes in San Jose, and our score at the break, Purdue 38 and Arizona 31. So, 38-31, the Purdue lead. And let's take a look at the first half statistics for you from this game. Let's start individually. Leading man for Purdue, Braden Smith. He had 11 points to lead Purdue in the first half. Koa Pete was the main man for Arizona from a scoring perspective. He had 10 points. As far as the team statistics go, Purdue shot 42% in the first half. Arizona 11 of 27 for 40%. Three-point shooting, Purdue 7 of 14. Arizona 1 of 6. Arizona was 8 of 8 at the free throw line. Purdue 1 of 2. Purdue out rebounding Arizona 22 to 15, 7 to 4 on the offensive glass. Assists 8 to 7 in favor of Arizona. Steals 4-2 in favor of Purdue. Blocks 2-0 in favor of Purdue. Each team had 6 turnovers. Arizona with a 20-8 edge at the paint. An 8-6 on second chance point. Biggest lead for each team in that first half was 7. Defensive rebounds, 11 to 10 in favor of the Arizona Wildcats. So that's how things are going through 20 minutes in San Jose. So, will it all work out in the second half is the $100,000 question. So Arizona chasing that first Final Four since 2001. But they are in a world of hurt right now against Purdue as we now bring in the halftime festivities. And well, it's been an interesting day of college basketball, that is for sure. If you weren't with us earlier tonight, our first game on the channel, it was the All Big Ten Regional Final in the South in Houston. And for the first time since 2005, Illinois will have reason to be happy on Final Four weekend. The Illini were the first team to punch their ticket to the men's Final Four. Win 28 takes them to Indianapolis. They beat Iowa 71-59. Keaton Wagler, the freshman, with 25 points. Illinois outscored Iowa 43-27 in the second half. At the NCAA Women's Sweet 16 today, everything held according to form. In the Fort Worth 3 regional, top-seeded Texas advanced with a 76-54 win over Kentucky. Horns will get number 2 seed Michigan, who overcame a slow start to romp Louisville 71-52. In the Sacramento 4 regional, South Carolina, the top seed, eliminated Oklahoma, avenging an earlier loss to the Sooners 94-68. Third-seeded TCU is next for them. They got 28-10 from Olivia Miles, ending the run of 10th-seeded Virginia 79-69. The Women's Elite Eight starts tomorrow. Notre Dame and UConn at 1 o'clock. Duke UCLA at 3 o'clock. Then Monday, Michigan, Texas at 7. We'll have the 9 o'clock game, TCU and South Carolina. So, should be interesting there to say the least. Elsewhere today in women's basketball, Grand Valley State won their second straight Division II championship. They beat Indiana PA 72-49. 36-1 were the Lakers this year. Their only loss was by 2 points to Wayne State in early February. So congratulations to the Lakers, the queens of Division II basketball. Other sports going on this night, there's plenty of them. In the NBA, one game in progress. Memphis leads Chicago 90-84 in the third quarter. Utah and Phoenix play later tonight at 10 o'clock. Earlier tonight, JT's men, at least man, the Spurs beat the Bucks to clinch at least the number 2 seed, 127-95. And just for JT, Victor Wembanyama, 23 points and 15 rebounds. Stephen Castle had a triple-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Detroit over Minnesota, 109-87. Philadelphia beat Charlotte 118-114, but because of that Milwaukee loss, Charlotte has clinched at least a spot in the play-in tournament. Hornets had their 5-game win streak snapped, and Atlanta beat Sacramento 123-113. In the NHL, their regular season really getting down the stretch. Philadelphia all over Detroit 3-0 at the second intermission in that game. Also, at the end of the first, the Mammoth lead the Kings 3-1. Vancouver plays Calgary later tonight. Also tonight at 10:30, it's Washington at Vegas. Finals from tonight in the NHL. Tampa Bay 4, Ottawa 3. The Islanders beat Florida 5-2. It was Edmonton 4, Anaheim 2, Boston 6, Minnesota 3. Dallas beat Pittsburgh 6-3. Carolina 5-2 over New Jersey. San Jose was a 3-2 winner over Columbus. Buffalo winning by that same 3-2 final over Seattle. St. Louis beat Toronto 5-1. The Canadiens beat the Nashville Predators 4-1. And Winnipeg a 4-2 winner over the Colorado Avalanche. Major League Baseball opening week of the season, opening series for teams continuing. In the top of the 8th, Houston leads Anaheim 11-6. It's Milwaukee, a 6-1 leader over the White Sox in the top of the 8th. The Giants do have a run. They're still down in there, but they're still trailing 3-1 to the New York Yankees. San Diego up 2-0 on Detroit in the 5th. Arizona leads the Dodgers 2-0 in the 3rd. Cleveland, Seattle scoreless in the 2nd. Earlier today, the Cardinals won an extra innings thriller 6-5 over the Rays. It was Chicago, the Cubs, taking down the Nationals 10-2 for their first win of the season. The Blue Jays walked off the A's 8-7 in 11 innings. Minnesota 4, Baltimore 1. Texas a 5-4 winner over Philadelphia in 10. Dane Myers got a game-winning single in the 11th. The Cincinnati beat Boston 6-5. Miami beat Colorado 4-3. Mets in 11 rallied past Pittsburgh. Luis Robert Jr.'s home run the difference 4-2. And Atlanta just beat Kansas City on a walk-off grand slam by Dom Smith on his Braves debut. An amazing ending in that one as the Bravos are 2 for 2 to start the young season. Elsewhere today in NASCAR, Justin Allgaier won again today. He won the NASCAR O'Reilly Grand National Series race at Martinsville today. Of course, there's all kinds of other racing as well. F1 later tonight, overnight from Japan. And then we're going to have the Indy cars at Barber Motorsports Park at Birmingham. And the Cup Series is at Martinsville, Virginia. International soccer friendlies. The U.S. was blown out 5-2 by Belgium and Atlanta. Japan scored late to edge Scotland 1-0 amongst several other friendlies that I don't have the energy to get into. Let's see what else we got here. English action in League One today. Blackpool beat Burton Albion 1-0. Big goal for their survival hopes. It was Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 0. Reading go into the top 6 with a 3-0 win against Wigan. Stockport 3-0 over Wimbledon. Wickham 4, Port Vale 0. League 2, Harrogate's relegation woes were dealt a big relegation The survival hopes were dealt a big blow. 2-0 losers to Knox County. Stunner at the top, though. Barrow, who started the day at the bottom two and are still there, beat the leaders Bromley 2-1. Barnet a 1-0 winner over Cambridge. Bristol Rovers 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Colchester and Walsall finished 1-1. Crawley beat Gillingham 2-0. Crewe 2-1 over Oldham. Newport 1, Shrewsbury 0. Salford a 1-0 winner over the MK Dons. Swindon and Fleetwood drew 1-1. In the National League today, Tamworth beat Brackley 1-0. Braintree 1, Carlisle 2. Forest Green beat Eastleigh 4-2. Scunthorpe 2-1 over Halifax. Gateshead 2, Yeovil 1. Aldershot beat Morecambe 2-0. Sullyhill Moors 1, Altrincham 0. Rochdale stayed at the top with a 2-1 win at Sutton United. Truro City and Bournemouth 0-0. And York beat Woking 1-0, because York is back at the top. And also, Southend, congratulations to Southend United and Wealdstone. They won their semifinals in the FA Trophy. They're heading to Wembley in May to play for that FA Trophy final. Congratulations to those two. JT, how did Salisbury City get on today?
Salisbury won 2-1 against Dover Athletic.
There you go. Salisbury 2-1 over Dover. Of course, we'll have racing tomorrow in conjunction with JBM, F1 from Japan, IndyCar from Alabama, and NASCAR from Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, and NASCAR from the short track in Martinsville, Virginia. JT, you're going to be busy with the racing, of course. You'll be doing the lead on our NASCAR coverage tomorrow. Excited about that. How excited are you for 500 laps from the paperclip?
Yeah, a little bit of a weird one tomorrow / today for me because time zones. And I am correct in saying that it is about to hit 10 o'clock for you, right?
Yep, you are correct.
Awesome. We are now in British summertime. We have been for the past hour, so no more trying to convert 4 hours instead of 5 hours back to normal. But yeah, it's a weird one because we've got MotoGP, IndyCar, and NASCAR all on at the same time in these United States. So yeah, 3 streams need to be on at the same time. I am on NASCAR, JB's on MotoGP, Omi is on IndyCar. As soon as MotoGP finishes, JB will take over NASCAR. So I am just filling while the clash is happening.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. We'll miss you tomorrow with the other 2 basketball games, but we know that you do a great job with the racing coverage. We know that be in your wheelhouse, and we will be most appreciative of. We'll be enjoying you tomorrow. We'll try to find a way to enjoy you tomorrow. Of course, in the middle of all the basketball, as racing gets there. The basketball's almost over. We'll be back to at least the college basketball. We'll be back to racing focus in a couple of weeks once we get out of the Final Four. I'm going to step aside for just a brief moment, get my drink refilled. I see we still have 7 minutes left, so got time to do that. So I'll see you in just a second. Hey, look, section 202.
So, yeah, just under 7 minutes. Now you have the clock on your screen at 6:44, 6:43, 6:42. Purdue lead Arizona 38-31 here in the West Regional Final for the NCAA tournament. The Elite Eight here at March Madness. 20 more minutes coming up in around 6.5 minutes. The first seed versus the second seed. It's been a close game, but Purdue able to pull out 7. We'll see what happens. It's all still up to play for in the second half. So we will wait to see what will happen and who will make the Final Four and who will head to Indianapolis. Teams starting to head back out on the court to warm up, getting ready for this second half of this
I have returned.
Regional Final. Hello.
Yay. So we are having a lot of fun.
Gravedigger has flipped.
Oh no, Gravedigger. That's boy, that's of course Gravedigger, of course, one of the notables, the kings of monster truck racing. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say the voice and think of things to say. So, we've got the second half getting ready to get going in Arizona. Arizona did not make a lot of shots, and Purdue's size bothered them and forced them to shoot outside. And shooting threes is not Arizona's game, and it showed. They only made one in that first half. Top two seeds in the West. One will go to the Final Four. The winner of this game will play in Indianapolis next week to play the winner of tomorrow's game between Tennessee and Michigan. Purdue and Tennessee in the NCAA tournament. I've never seen that before. And then, of course, Illinois will play the winner of tomorrow's game between Connecticut and Duke University. That's how the brackets lined up. Illinois, the first one there, waiting for three more to join them. Indianapolis next week. Again, should be about a 6:09 and 8:49, or roughly the tip times for next week, as the Boilers and the Wildcats get set to clash for the second half here, and it's now all about the adjustments. Will Arizona adjust? Tommy Lloyd said he's not one to change his style. He believes in it. Is he having to walk that back, maybe? You'll have to make some adjustments, or else Arizona could be staring down the brink of another disappointing tournament exit. Again, a team that does have the national championship in 1997, as well as Final Four trips in 1988, 1994, and 2001. But 2001 was the last time they made the Final Four. And even before 2001, even before they won in 97, they have a history, Arizona, of disappointing when they're a higher seed. Last year, of course, they met their seed, if you will, a 4 seed, losing in the Sweet 16, but a lot of times Arizona comes to the tournament as a team that most want to think is a contender to win the championship, and they have been arguably the best team of the country all season long. No worse than third if you were ranking teams all season long between the Cats, Duke, and Michigan. And Tommy Lloyd's got to find a way to get that situated in the second half, or else It'll be Purdue and Matt Painter, who they used to be the ones that couldn't get over the hump. And prior to 2 years ago, 1980 was the last time they had reached the Final Four. Then with Zach Edey and his friends, and a lot of players that are on this Purdue team were youngins on the Purdue team 2 years ago that got all the way to the national championship game, disposed of Grambling, TCU, Gonzaga, Tennessee, and NC State before losing to an absolute behemoth in UConn in the title game. And of course, for Purdue, as this is tied, the largest halftime deficit of the year for Arizona. And of course, the other thing that is worth noting from a Purdue perspective, if they win this game, well, you think Illinois is relatively close to Indianapolis. So, West Lafayette, it's not exactly like you don't exactly have to book a flight to get from West Lafayette to Indianapolis. Boy, there would be a lot of black and gold. 20 minutes to go to determine who goes to the Final Four. Will it be a second from the Big Ten? Will it be the last bullet in the gun from the Big 12? Big Ten, the only conference that had multiple teams in the Elite Eight when it started earlier today. Illinois and Iowa, of course, played each other. Purdue and Michigan also there. That's half the Elite Eight. The ACC, SEC, Big 12, and Big East with one each. It's Arizona with the ball going right to left as you follow along. Jaden Bradley in the white uniforms. Purdue going the opposite end. Black uniforms and the gold numerals. Jaden Bradley, 4-3, and that is way off the mark. Rebound inside to Krivas, and his hook shot doesn't go. And Purdue, who's 27-1 all-time in the tournament when leading by 7 or more points, has the ball. It's the first time Arizona's trailed at the half since they trailed 15 days ago in the semifinal of the Big 12 tournament against Iowa State. Kaufman-Renn, no good. And then on the way down, a foul on Purdue. And if that's on Kaufman-Renn, that's his third. So Trey Kaufman-Renn picks up his third foul. 39 seconds into the second half. Something to monitor, because when he was on the floor, Purdue had 24 points and shot 50%. They shot just 5 of 15 and only put up 14 points without Kaufman-Renn. And he's off the floor right now. Bradley with it for Arizona. On the drive, no good, but he got fouled. And that'll go on Braden Smith. So first free throw, good for Bradley. 5 points and 4 assists for Bradley. Second free throw is also good. Free throws keeping Arizona in the game. Within 5 to start this second half. Braden Smith for Purdue. Smith, oh, what a good pass. Clough inside, scored off the window. Oscar Clough. Smith with just excellent passing. Clough with 7. Purdue lead back at 7. Pete, Karchenkov. Burries for 3. No, another missed 3. And then on the way down, a foul on Arizona. We have a Purdue player whose shoes have come untied. That's Braden Smith. You obviously don't want to have that. Especially if you're Purdue. So Smith. Well, now you talk about it being a term of injury, Smith looks fine. It wasn't a foul, it's been some kind of other violation. Anyway, Purdue has it with Smith. Fadeaway jumper rolls out. Rebound, Arizona Krivas. Arizona's missed their last 7 3-point field goals. Bradley, nearly stolen by Clough. Bradley trying to move. Kicks it out. Karchenkov for 3. That doesn't go. Krivas with the rebound. And then he gets fouled. And he took a big hit. Did Krivas. And he is still not getting up. The foul is on Clough. Arizona to inbound. Here's Pete. Pete, fadeaway jump shot, good. In the paint, good job by Pete. And Arizona has cut it back to 5. 17:50 to play. Braden Smith now on the left wing. Smith now gives it to Cox. Now it's Clough. Clough. And we've got a foul away for the ball on Arizona. Smith on the accelerator. Smith driving, bounce pass to Clough. Clough on Krivas, it's scoring. Clough having a great game. Purdue now up by 7. Pete, fall away, good. About the same spot he hit the last one. Almost a carbon copy of the shot he hit a minute ago. Pete keeping Arizona alive with 14. Purdue up by 5, 3 minutes into the second half. Here is Smith dribbling around. Smith with a bounce pass to Clough. And it's blocked by Krivas. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Purdue. 13 on the shot clock. I was just getting ready to say that Purdue, or Arizona, has no real answer for Oscar Clough. But a good job by Krivas that time. Purdue dribbling it around. Into the hands of Smith, 8 on the timer. Smith trying to go with 5. Smith on the accelerator. Smith, fall away jumper is no good. Rebound gathered in by Pete. Pete for Arizona. Running the floor. Burris, 3. Will one finally go? Yes. Burris makes the 3. Finally one goes for Arizona. And they're back to within 2. And Burris has hit both 3s. 42-40 Purdue. Smith stops, bounces down low to Jacobson, the big 7'4" man. And a foul. Are they going to count the basket? I think the foul came before the basket. Braden Burris can't leave him alone. It wasn't the act of, well, it is a 2-shot foul. So, anyway, the foul was way before the shot. So here is Jacobson, 7'4", who hails from Chicago. And he misses the first free throw. Jacobson is only a 64% free throw shooter. He averages 6 points, 3 rebounds, and about 12 minutes a game. Second free throw. That one also missed. Rebounded by Arizona. Wildcats could tie or take the lead this trip down. Bradley on the right wing. Arizona now being patient. 17 on the timer. Bradley attacks. Leans in and scores, even at 42. Jaden Bradley trying to get the Arizona crowd pumped up. The Big 12 Player of the Year ties it. A 7-0 run for the top seed of the West. Smith now dribbling slowly with 14 on the timer. Down to 10. Smith with it. Off a Clough screen. Smith now goes. He pulls for three. That one off the mark, no good. Clough, though, with a rebound. He's having a game. And then he's fouled by Krivas, and he'll go to the line when they come from the under 16 timeout. He's a 70% free throw shooter, Clough, and he'll go to the line when they come back. But what a performance here. And Arizona fighting back. Jaden Bradley, the tough layup, has tied the game at 42 with 15-17 to go. And JT, Arizona's done a good job of not backing down here. They are right back in it. In Monster Truckland. So we got two banana ball games, but I don't know. But are any of them live? That's the big question. Okay, and you got monster trucks. You got action from Philip Bauer. I still cannot take Matthew that seriously with that profile picture he had. So, action going on in many different sports corners around the entire globe here tonight. So we're waiting to come out of the break. The Purdue band is having a good old time. First free throw, Clough, good. And the second one, no good. Rebound, Arizona. 1 point game with 15 to play. West Regional Final. What we expected, advertised, and then some. 14 to shoot. Pete now drives. Pete takes the midi at the free throw line. It rims out. Clough got the rebound into the hands of Smith. Smith on the right wing. Smith into the lane. Kicks it out. Harris, three. No. Rebound, Krivas. Bradley. Arizona wanting to break. Here's Burris. Now it's Bradley. Bradley knifing in. No good, but a foul. And he'll go to the line with a chance to give Arizona the lead. He's an 80% free throw shooter, and he'll have a chance to make two to put Arizona in front for the first time in quite a while. Bradley with 4 points in the second half, matching all that he had in the entirety of the first half. First free throw coming for Bradley. And it's good. So the game is now tied. Arizona matching the 88 team this year. They have matched the 88 team for the most wins in program history. A win tonight sets a school record. And more importantly, gets them to the Final Four. Bradley hits them both, and Arizona is back on top. Still 14 and a half minutes to go. Their first lead, Arizona, since the 4:04 mark of the first half. Smith off a Coffin-Wren screen. Coffin-Wren inside. Smith nearly lost the pass. 12 to shoot. Smith off a screen. Gets it to Coffin-Wren. Little floater. Rims out. Rebounded by Burris. Arizona up the floor. Burris now gives it to Pete. Pete now with a spin. Pete double teamed. No good. Pete got the rebound. Put it up. No. But a foul called on Purdue. Well, Matt Painter, he knows how important Trey Coffin-Wren is to this team. As Pete, who's just a 62% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Very few players that, regardless of how good they are, you'd see back on the floor with 3 fouls with 14 minutes to play in the game. But the stats tell you how big of an impact he has, and the stats tell you Pete's not a great free throw shooter, and the stat didn't lie. He missed the first, threw up a brick. Now another one coming. This to make it a 2-point game. And he missed them both. And Purdue has the ball, down by 1. Back up the floor they go. Here comes Braden Smith. Arizona shot 8 more free throws than Purdue. This is Smith. Gives it to Harris. Now Coffin-Wren. Handoff Lawyer. Top of the key. Lawyer trying to spin. Lawyer in a lot of trouble. Ball poked away. Only as far as Coffin-Wren. 2 to shoot. Harris with 1. Harris has to pull with 1 on the timer. No good. Rebounded Arizona. Bradley with it. Wildcats trying to run up the floor. Slowing it down just a little bit. Here is Bradley. Bradley weaving through. Kicks it back out to Karchenkov. Karchenkov on the take. Great scoop layup off the glass. Right side by Karchenkov. And Arizona's up 3. He's got 8. 46-43 Arizona. 13 minutes to play. Here is Smith. Smith. Bounce pass to Clough. Coffin-Wren now back over to Smith. Back to Coffin-Wren in the paint. Coffin-Wren. Foul. The floor on Arizona. It's on Awaka. It's the team's 4th foul. 12 minutes, 49 seconds. Stands between one of these teams and a golden ticket to Indianapolis in the Final Four. Not in the act of shooting, so inbounds to Coffin-Wren. Oh, what a pass. And Lawyer. Brilliant move, and Lawyer under the basket. Has the little dipsy-do layup to pull Purdue back to within 1. That's 5 for Lawyer. 12:36 left. Burris with it now. Gives it to Karchenkov. Karchenkov knifes in, no, but a foul called. 16 foul on Purdue, 12:28 to go. The man who was a part of the system at Bayern Munich's basketball club will now head to the line, where he is a 72% free throw shooter. And now, Jakari Harris is slow to get up, the sophomore from Atlanta, who hit a couple of big shots for Purdue in the first half. Boy, he did take a tumble. He also committed the foul, and that's 3 on Harris. Karchenkov, 8 points tonight. And rattles in the first free throw. Second free throw also good. 3-point Arizona lead. Three-point Arizona lead with 12:18 left. Smith went for the lob. And Krivas poked it away. Good job. Bradley now in full stretch. Transition 3, Del Orso. It's money. Del Orso. Timeout, Matt Painter. And Arizona leads by a half dozen with 12:06 to go. Transition defense to offense. That is Arizona basketball. Well, I hope he's still with us because he didn't say anything last time. JT, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I asked you a question earlier. Are any of these banana ball games live?
Both of them are live.
Okay. And then you have Monster Jam from wherever, and then that race from Phillip Island is about to start. Oh my goodness.
Monster Jam's in San Antonio.
San Antonio, okay. Yeah. San Antonio, which is where the Final Four was last year. Great Final Four it was, and that was the Florida Gators who prevailed in a Final Four full of #1 seeds. Whoa. That was not a #1 seed tumble right there for that monster truck. That light green one there. Hey, look, I'm with you, JT, for the most part. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, I'm at bare minimum somewhat intrigued. Avenger doing some burnouts, and who the hell is that on its lid? Wow, that was rather impressive. And then here's one that's scooting off his butt, and then you got a unicorn here, and the tricks at these monster trucks. I've seen a couple monster truck rallies. It's pretty loud inside, but I'll tell you, man, the stuff they pull off, man, some of those stunts are pretty awesome. The freestyle is what they call it. Whoa! Okay, I'll give that 2 10s. That is... It's a high fly ball for the banana ball in Anaheim. And, he didn't make the catch. Oh, he fell on his keister. And now that is the issue. So we'll keep up to date with that. 51-45 Arizona. West Regional Final. Winner to the Final Four to face either Michigan or Tennessee in the national semifinals a week from tonight. One of our favorite weekends of the year. For me personally, my favorite weekend of the year. Going back to the old platform, of course, it holds a special place in our hearts because we're both big college basketball fans. Me with college hoops is my #1 sport. Then you also consider the Final Four is where this whole thing got conceived nearly a decade ago. on our old original platform. That Final Four was in Arizona. Arizona, the University of Arizona, trying to get to Indiana where Purdue plays. The state where Purdue is, and they're up by 6. A 16-3 run is helped. Does Purdue have an answer? Kaufman-Wren kicks it out. Harris fakes the 3, drives. Ball took a wicked bounce into the hands of Lawyer. 12 to shoot. Kaufman-Wren on a drive. Bumped into a Waka. And what are they going to call? They're going to call the... They going to call and one or not? Believe they're going to call a foul, but they're not going to count the basket. As Kaufman-Wren with some kind of upset, and he needs to watch it. I get being upset. He needs to make sure he doesn't say the magic word. He's already got 3 fouls. And so now they go to another media break. Arizona with a 6-point lead. So it will be Purdue ball. And again, not a shooting foul and not in the bonus yet. So Purdue won't even get free throws out of this. They will have the ball, though. JT, I know you'll be more involved, with racing once we get to the spring, but are you excited to be with us for any potential NBA and NHL playoff coverage?
It could be interesting, depending on what I have on. Yeah.
Tell you what, NHL playoffs they're pretty special. They're pretty good. I mean, it's not single elimination like this. NBA isn't either, but best of 7. But I'll tell you, every game in the NHL playoffs feels like a best of a single elimination game. So that should be a lot of fun to get you in on that. Of course, we've had so much fun over the last several years. Of course, it'll be so much fun. Hold that thought for about 10 to 15 seconds. Right. Sorry I had to take care of something. I'll tell you, allergies have been kicking my butt all week. I think they finally have started to catch up with me at certain times, but we're gonna press on Uncle nail to the finish here. That's what we're built to do. 51-45. The lead here for Arizona over Purdue. Six-point game. Purdue ball coming out of the timeout. There's the lob to Kaufman-Wren. Kaufman-Wren on a drive. No. Clough got the rebound, though. Purdue with 10. Bounce pass all alone. Kaufman-Wren for the stuff. Good job by Kaufman-Wren. He throws it down. And then the clock stops. We have a little bit of an issue, perhaps. Not sure what. 51-47. The lead for U of A with 11:26 left. Bradley. Krivas gives it up. Karchenkov driving, fell Was out of control and he got fouled, took a big tumble. Seventh team foul on Purdue now, if it was in the act of shooting or not. It's free throws either way for a 72% free throw shooter. If it was in the act of shooting, he gets 2. If it's not, then it's a 1-and-1. 13 remaining in this one. And it is a 2-shot foul for Ivan Karchenkov. And he gets the roll on the first one. And he makes the second, the lead back at 6 for Arizona. Lawyer, Kaufman, Wren, and Harris all have 3 fouls for Purdue. Arizona's free throw shooting has been excellent, 16 out of 18. Kaufman, Wren traveled, picked up his foot, shuffle. And if you had me watching the game, you see Trey Kaufman-Wren's face. You don't need me to tell you that's the look of one very frustrated individual. 8th Purdue turnover. Big possession right here for Arizona to get it to 8 or 9. Here's Karchenkov. Nearly lost it. Now Pete. Drives. No. Got it back. Put it in. Stick-to-itiveness from Koa Pete. And Arizona's built its lead to 8 with 10:33 left. 16 for Pete. Kaufman-Wren. Purdue needs an answer. And that'll help. A foul away for the ball on the Wildcats. It's going to go on Bradley. (55-47), 10:29. Smith, they need this 3. They come up short on it. And Arizona with a save. Now, Arizona, Koa Pete. Lob. Grivas. Boy, that could have been a walk. Del Orso for 3. Short off the front of the rim. Rebound tracked down by Purdue and Harris. Harris with the basketball on a drive. A little floater. Gets the friendly roll. Does Jakari Harris. Purdue, you know they won't go away. 6-point game. 9:42 left. Pete. Bradley. 18 to shoot. Now Bradley hits the accelerator. Bradley. Little dipsy-do. And Jaden Bradley lays it in. That was pretty. 9 minutes, 22 seconds to go. 57-49 Arizona. Boilermakers down by 8. Here's Meyer who's into the game. And Meyer missing on a 2. And Arizona with a rebound. Wildcats up the floor now with Del Orso. Purdue just 5 of 16 from the floor in the second half. Bradley off a screen. Oh, and then Bradley turned it over. Or was it deflected from behind on a Purdue player? Replay shows this great move by Bradley. And look, there's plenty of good players in the Big 12. Kingston Flemings, A.J. DeBonta, Darren Peterson, but there's a reason why he won Player of the Year. It is Arizona ball. Pete inside, blocked, but he got it back, and he lays it in. And Arizona's lead matches Koa Pete's jersey number, 10. He's got 18. Smith left wing, 8:36 to go. Smith. Now back to Cox. Now Smith. Smith out of the left wing with 10 to shoot. Smith. 7 on the timer. Smith trying to go. Here's Braden Smith and a foul called on Arizona. 8:20 to go, and it's getting close to danger time for Purdue. Again, Getting close. Never hear me say anybody is... I'm not going to say anything with the way these two teams have played this year. Ten-point lead, but Braden Smith, senior out of Westfield, Indiana, he's who you like at the line if you're a Purdue fan. This is a 1-1, and it's nothing but net. You would think with the way he plays, he would look your stereotypical really good free throw shooter. He's not a bad free throw shooter, but he shoots 82%. He started 3 of 4 from the field. He's made just one of his last 11 shots since. Smith hits them both and cuts Arizona's lead to 8 with 8:20 to play. Up the floor. Here is Bradley now to Pete. Karchenkov, he'll take a 3, a high arcer. That is no good. Loose. And Burry's tried to bounce it off a Purdue man, but it went out of bounds before he could do that. Turnover, and it's Purdue basketball. Oh, that's why it's out. He bounced it off of Smith, but it ricocheted back onto his chest. So it's Purdue ball down by 8 as we near 8 minutes to play in this West Regional Final. It's Braden Smith slowly dribbling it up the floor. Final 8 minutes of regulation. Smith being guarded by Burry. Smith now over to the right wing. Does Purdue have another run in him? Good bounce pass. Clough, who's had some success tonight, and he draws a foul on Awaka. And he'll go to the line as they go to the under 8 timeout. 7:49 left. Arizona 59. Purdue 51. JT, does Purdue have anything left is the 100,000-pound question as you continue your racing. I know you've been keeping at least some track of it with the fact that you're running the scoreboard. Let's see, does Purdue have anything left in the tank?
We shall see. Gap only 8 as you mentioned, so...
Whoa! I see that. I see the pitcher's boxer shorts. In the banana ball game. But yeah, anyway, 8-point game.
Okay. But yeah. 8-point gap. Just under 8 minutes. Still a lot of time in the basketball world.
You're right about that. So, GT World Challenge at Phillip Island. And they're under a safety car. I guess we're about to find out why they're on a safety car. Yep. One car gets off the course. Oh my God. No, there's not a chance in hell that car's sponsor is actually what it is. Uh-oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. All right. Well, the other screen has apparently lost network connection, so...
Yep, because it is 3:46.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I'll tell you what, while you get that situated, I'll be calling the game off of my television. I'll be calling the game off my Studio G TV, so while you get to working on that, so... Arizona and Purdue, West Regional Final. Final Four ticket to the winner. Will it be a second Big Ten team, or will the Big 12's last representative get the nod here? Purdue with Oscar Clough going to the free throw line. In an 8-point game, he did hit 2 free throws earlier. Arizona and Tommy Lloyd. This is it for Tommy Lloyd. He's done so many great things in his time at in short time, relatively short time at Arizona. This is the only thing left to check off the CV as a Final Four trip. And he is 8 minutes away from doing that. But as JT mentioned, 8 minutes is a long time in the basketball world. And in this tournament, it's an eternity. And Clough makes the first free throw to make it 59-52. Second free throw for the 6'11 senior from Australia coming up. And nothing but net. You wouldn't know he's an average free throw shooter with the way he's hit his four tonight. Arizona by a half dozen with 7:42 left. Karchenkov, bounce pass. Pete underneath, no. Krivas, though, got the rebound. Burries for three. Book it. Braden Burries with a big-time triple, and the Arizona lead is 9 with 7:25 left. Smith now with the Clough screen. Smith meanders to the right. Smith off balance. He threw it away. Arizona's got numbers. Burries bounce past Karchenkov. Lays it in. The lead's 11. Matt Painter wants to talk about it. It might be getting away from his team now. 7 minutes to go. And Arizona can now slowly but surely start to see Indianapolis in the distance. An 11-point lead for the top seed in the West. What an effort here by the Arizona Wildcats. They've had no answer for Koa Pete. And Arizona turning on the style. Bradenberry becomes the second Arizona freshman with 600 or more points in a season. The other, DeAndre Ayton. Lawyer. Purdue desperately needs something. Lawyer along two. That's no good. Rebounded by Burries. Up the floor. Purdue just 5 of 17 from the floor in this second half. Arizona up 11. Bradley. Does Purdue have another run in them? Do they have stops in them? Krivas catches the lob. Backs in, and Krivas is fouled. And the 7'2 junior from Lithuania will go to the charity stripe, where he is a 78% free throw shooter. 64-53, Arizona on top with 6:23 left. Wildcats now on the verge. As Krivas goes to the foul line, he has 4 points and 9 rebounds. First free throw from Krivas up in a minute, and it is good. Now he'll get another one as the rules dictate. Here is the second for Krivas. It's up. It's good. And Arizona now leads by 13 with 6:20 to play. Do the Boilermakers have another run in them? If they do, they need it now. Smith, they've been outscored 31-13 since the 1839 mark. Kaufman-Wren can't get it to go. Ball ping-ponging around. Arizona got the rebound, but then a foul called on the Wildcats on Pete. Lawyer lob to Kaufman-Renn. Purdue 3 points in the last 2:21. Cox gets the roll from about 15. They needed a bucket of some kind, and Cox gave it to them. 66-55. 5:54 to go. Something happening after the whistle. Now he can resume. Arizona inbounds with an 11-point lead and 5:46 to go. Bradley. Karchenkov. Krivas. Pete! Stufferino! Koa Pete! Purdue has no answer for him. He's got 20. 68-55. 5:19 left. Cox. Offensive foul, Purdue. Offensive foul, Clough. And Purdue now in a almighty world of hurt. 5:02 left. Bradley on the take. Bradley pull up from just inside the painted area. It's no good. Not even hit the rim. Rebound, Purdue Lawyer. Smith with it. Kaufman-Renn. Reverse layup, no good. Out of control layup, no. Burris with it for Arizona. And he'll hold the basketball now. On to the right wing. And the Arizona partisans at San Jose are getting pretty excited right about now. Burris, 13-footer, in and out. Loose ball, and it is a foul on Krivas. 4:24 left. Arizona with a 13-point lead. Again, they've had all these great teams, and even though they won it in 1997, it wasn't the greatest team in the world. They were a 4th seed. Matter of fact, if I had this correct, at the time, they had the record for the fewest amount of wins by a national champion, or most losses, one of the two. It's a 3rd foul on Krivas. Clough a 1-1. But all the proof you need to know about how good this team is, as Clough sinks the front end. If they hang on, they break the record of the all-time single-season win mark. That was the 88 team that featured Steve Kerr and Sean Elliott. Made it to the Final Four before losing to Oklahoma. Clough's second free throw rattles in. Purdue not out of it yet, though. They need a stop. 11-point Arizona lead with 4:19 left. Bradley on the left wing. He'll give it now to Burris. Burris now over to Pete. Pete drives. Pete rejected. Good block. Here comes Purdue with Braden Smith. Bounce pass. Cox. Big three if it goes, but it doesn't. Clough chases the rebound down. Somehow got it. Kaufman-Renn now finds Lawyer. Smith left wing. Smith now goes to left block. Kick out. Lawyer left wing 3. Oh, in and out. Oh, the iron just downright ornery there. And it's Arizona ball again inside of 4 minutes. Bradley slowly dribbling it up the floor. Up to Pete it goes. 3:30 to play. Burris drives. Burris knifes in. No, but he'll go to the line when they come out of the under 4 break. 3:28 to go. Arizona 68, Purdue 57, and JT, Arizona is oh so close to getting that proverbial monkey off of its backside. Wildcats Just trying to hold on here and get the win. Well, this is a team that is just they've just found their ways. They have had a different sense of urgency. Here's two key stats for you. Arizona had 6 turnovers in the first half, none in the second half. After going 7 of 14 from 3 in the first half, Purdue from 3, Purdue 0 of 4. As we near 11 o'clock in the East, thank you for being with us on both streams tonight. A good game earlier with Illinois seeing off Arizona. I say Illinois. It was Illinois seeing off Iowa. That's how excited I am. I forgot which game is which. But yes. Fantastic. And Co-op Eat's been a big difference maker. He should be the MOP if Arizona hangs on, at least to this regional. First one good. The lead now at a dozen. Second one, also good. 13-point lead. Purdue running out of time. 3:28 left. Braden Smith. Well, Purdue nearly lost the ball. Ball is actually loose. Arizona's got it. Karchenkov, layup, good. And surely now, Arizona can start thinking on heading down that road to Indiana. Kaufman-Renn gets the roll to go. That 15-point lead that was held for just a few seconds was the largest lead of the night for Arizona. Lucas Oil Stadium now very much in the crosshairs of this Arizona team. Bradley up the floor. 2:47 to go. 13-point game. Bradley. Karchenkov. Chenkov looking, needs help. Now Bradley has it. 7 on the timer. Down to 5. Bradley on a drive. 17-footer canned. Jaden Bradley right down the can. 14 points. Arizona leads by 15 points. 2:15 left. Kaufman-Renn with a floater that's no good. Out of bounds. Whose ball is it? It is going to stay with Purdue. Arizona. A lot of people think this is the most complete team in the United States, and it's really hard to argue with that. Duke and Michigan are both really good, but boy, when this team finds another gear, good luck. Kaufman-Renn on the block. Throws it up and one. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play. It hasn't been the night that he envisioned. And with 2:05 to go, he'll try to cut it to a 12-point game. And he misses the N1 free throw. Does Kaufman-Wren. .13 game, 1:50 to go. Karchenkov lays it in, and Karchenkov has been money, and so have the Cats. What a team. Layup for Purdue, no good. Rebound, Arizona, minute 22 left. .111 to play. And this is an Arizona team. They've really been the team from opening night. Krivas couldn't get the roll. Almost had two more. It started opening night when they beat Florida. Then a week later, they went to Connecticut and won. They ran roughshod through arguably the toughest conference in the country. Regular season and tournament champs. Kaufman-Wren blows the bunny. Krivas the rebound. And Arizona now starting to really sense it. And the realization for Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Kaufman-Wren, and Braden Smith, we said when it ends, it's going to get emotional. And it's about to end right here. Three great seniors who have given their all to this university and this sport. Long three is good from Burris. Why not? Bullseye dagger. And the team with the most wins without a national championship will have to wait another year. Arizona's won 147 games the last 5 years as Lawyer makes a three, the most in that stretch without a Final Four appearance. 10 seconds left. Matt Painter will wave the white flag. 2001 was Arizona's last trip to the Final Four. They complete the Odyssey to Indianapolis tonight. The University of Arizona Wildcats get over the hump and are on their way to the Final Four. A blistering second-half performance sends Purdue packing. What a performance. What a team. Catch them if you can, perhaps. Fifth Final Four appearance for this proud program. And don't you know that somewhere up above, Lute Olson cracks a smile. Arizona, most wins in a single season in program history. That's the test that awaits either Michigan or Tennessee next Saturday in Indianapolis. So it's Illinois and Arizona who booked the first two tickets to Indianapolis. And JT, Arizona really turned on the style in the second half. They really did. Wildcats, long overdue. They are Final Four bound, and you gotta be happy for Tommy Lloyd. This was the last thing that was missing off the CV. Matthew Owens is unmuted. I don't know if he's available to talk or not, but if he is, I'm going to ask him. I saw your tweet a minute ago. You've been on this for a while now. You think this is the best team in the country. I know you are a big Tommy Lloyd fan. This team looks hard to beat.
Best team in the country all year long. And your line that you just gave, I think you have to be thrilled for Tommy Lloyd. And a lot of people linking him to the coaching vacancy in Chapel Hill right now. Furthest thing from his mind, because he has just taken Arizona, a proud program, to a place where they should have been many times over the last quarter of a century, but haven't been. And now Arizona is back in a Final Four. And that is so huge for certainly this program, but for West Coast basketball. You know, they've had Oregon in the Final Four a handful of years ago. UCLA was there in 21. Gonzaga's been there, but Arizona, for such a long time, has been the program out west, the most consistent in many years. And for them to finally get back, this is a great accomplishment for the university and for the coach, who is just great.
For all the talk that we've had about how impressive Illinois has been in this run, and they have been, Arizona's 4 tournament wins are by an average of 20.5 points.
And trailed at halftime in this one. So they have just. This has been such a physical team all year long. They have everything that you could want. They have got just amazing guard play. Big, tall, strong, muscular bigs. Yeah. This team, they've had it all since night one. And now, they really did show off on night one of the season, didn't they? And now they're going to the last weekend of the season. And you got a good feeling that they might be playing on the last night of the season.
A talented team that's finally gotten over the hump. That could be a difficult combination. On the other side, Matthew, an up and down year for Purdue. Preseason number 1. Inconsistent play at times. Got hot, though, in March, and a great run. And I don't know if, to me, again, you consider the source of who's saying this. I don't think this would be fair to label this as another Matt Painter choke job. He just ran into a much better team tonight. And we say goodbye, Matthew, to 3 seniors in Lawyer, Smith, and Coffin Wren, who have shown an unbelievable amount of a refreshing amount of loyalty and have given so much to the school and the sport of college basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, this has been one heck of a run from this group that has given the sport a lot and given the state of Indiana a lot. It's such a proud basketball state. And for many years in the 70s, 80s, 90s, that proud basketball state, it's been all Indiana. And for a number of years now, Purdue has turned the tide their direction, and this is a group that did a lot to help that along. And this is a tough way for them to end. You want to talk about a group that experienced a lot of highs and a lot of lows. This is a low right now, but they are going to hold their heads high, at least I hope they will, in knowing what they did for all of these years at this proud basketball institution. And they've laid the foundation for Purdue teams of the future to go after Final Fours and national championships. They are champions. They will not lift a national championship trophy, but they are champions in every walk that they possibly could be.
They are. They absolutely are. All right, Matthew, it's getting late, but before we go off, I cannot let you go without giving some thought on the 2 games tomorrow. And let's start with the one that, on paper, heading into the weekend, was labeled as the biggest quote-unquote mismatch. Michigan and Tennessee. Tennessee, 3rd straight Elite 8, but this one really has come out of nowhere with the inconsistencies that the Big Orange have had all year, and yet here they are. It's almost like they got a coach in Rick Barnes who maybe we've been too harsh on him at times as a society. I know I certainly have. He's in the Elite 8, but this is going to be a tough task. A Michigan team that is loaded for bear, and we know how good they are in the second half, so we'll see what happens there. If Tennessee's going to pull this off, Matthew, what do they got to do?
Jacoby Gillespie has to have a game like he had against Miami University in the first round. Nate Ament has to be the best player on the court for Tennessee, and against a Michigan roster that is absolutely loaded, it's going to be hard for him to be the best player on the court for the entire game. But can he be the best player on the court in 2, 4, 6-minute spells? He's going to have to do that in pockets of time tomorrow, because Tennessee is big and physical on the inside, but you're not bigger and you're not more physical. You might be as physical, but you're not more physical than Michigan, and you're certainly not going to be bigger. So they've got to get what they can in the paint, but this has to be a game where Gillespie and Ament either hit jump shots or attack closeouts and penetrate to the inside. And once you get to the inside, you've either got to finish through the trees of Michigan or you've got to draw some fouls. And sometimes you're going to have to do them both at the same time. Draw contact and finish through it. Tennessee's got to have a big game from those two, and then they've got to get consistency from their big men like Estrella and Carey on the inside. They can win this game. This is not mission impossible for Tennessee. It's mission unlikely, but it is not mission impossible. They can win this game, and here's a program that has been so close, and they're starting to get used to getting so close to being close. Here they have, they're a team that's better than a 6 seed. We've talked about it all year. Could easily have won more games than they did. Could have easily been a 2, 3, or 4 seed. But they're punching above their weight seed line-wise in this tournament as they start to realize their potential and play up to it.
The only thing I will say is this. The only factor I will add to that I think could be in Tennessee's favor. I won't say they're playing with a bunch of it. I think they've got a little house money coming into this game. No one thought they'd be here, and all the pressure is on Michigan to get over the hump and get to the Final Four because of all the expectations. We shall see what happens. They've met twice in recent years in the tournament. Michigan prevailed in tight games, both instances. Will Tennessee be able to get one over the hump? They also met one time. It was not a tight game in Charlotte, but we'll see if Tennessee can finally get one over on Michigan. And then at 5 o'clock tomorrow, maybe you've heard about this. Duke and UConn. That's just two middling programs where nothing ever happens between. Nobody's going to be paying attention to this game, right? In all seriousness, this, if ever a college basketball game could be labeled as box office and cinema before the Final Four, I think this is it.
I mean, here it is. A lot of people over the past handful of years have wanted Duke and UConn on a basketball court, especially these last 3 since Dan Hurley has returned UConn to this championship level prominence, and here it is. Duke is the better team, not by a lot, but Duke is the better team. But these UConn players, all they know is winning. Winning games, winning regionals, winning championships. What a coaching matchup. What a matchup of players. What a matchup of programs. And what a matchup for all of us to witness. March 28th. Today is another anniversary of the Christian Laettner shot for Duke to beat Kentucky in the regional final of 92. Christian Laettner buzzer beater that doesn't get talked about a lot is the one against UConn the year prior. We could see a game that lives up to that kind of hype tomorrow. And God help us if we do. Because the hype is there, and if it lives up to it, we're going to be talking about all-time classic being thrown around with this game. Terrace Reed's going to have to dominate. He is not taller than, well, he's taller than just about everyone on the Duke roster except for Pat Gungba, who is also 6'11", but Reed has so much extra girth on the inside. He's been dominant in this tournament. Can he do it again? Where does that leave Cam Boozer? And Caleb Foster had a game named after him last night. What does he look like? Second game off the foot injury. Isaiah Evans is, when it comes to just pure shooting, he can be streaky. He hit him a lot last night. Will he be hot or cold tomorrow? That determines a lot. And just the intangibles of the game, right? Who gets on the floor for loose balls? Who makes mistakes, dribbling it off your foot or your thigh, or just lazy passes? It's set up for an absolute classic.
Well, what do we do now? What do we get kicked out of a San Jose Applebee? Matthew, halfway there, Illinois and Arizona. That's half the Final Four. 2 more games tomorrow.
Can we change
Tennessee,
the rules?
Michigan.
Can we change the rules and have the Final Four be a round robin? I mean,
You know, I was the one that hates when NBA casuals suggest that. But if we get Michigan, if it's Michigan who wins, and if it's Duke or UConn, that would not be a bad idea. I mean, it's going to be very, very exciting. JT, either he's just ignored me and zoned me out, or he's just in his own little world. But JT, if you're listening out there, thank you for all the hard
Hello.
work you've done. Yes,
I am still here. Do not worry.
JT, thank you so much for being there. Matthew, you are the best. You are the best around, and it was fun. Chopping it up with you and sharing the mic again today, and gotta get some rest. It's gonna be a big, big, big day tomorrow, to put it mildly. Matthew, always great. For Matthew Owens, for Pierre Moss, who was with us earlier, and for JT, our incomparable, goated producer. I am merely Seth Eaves. So long and good night. Congratulations to the Illinois Fighting Illini and the Arizona Wildcats, who have booked their tickets to the men's Final Four out of the West bracket. We'll see you tomorrow for 2 more games. The road to Indianapolis is near.